Okay, I'm going to do a brief unboxing video of some Aquatop heaters and a Cascade 1500 Penn Plax canister filter. So let's start with the Aquatops. I have picked these up for my, I keep pumping things, new 75-gallon tank, which is horribly dirty right now. We just put water in it, and that is the Fluval Stratum substrate and some Rhyzomat. But if my experience with Penn Plax is an indication, we have a 1000 on our 38. That should get cleared up in pretty short order once we get the filter installed. So, let me tilt this back down, lock this back in place, and we'll start with the Penn Plax. Box had a little ding in it. I already cut the tape. There. Well, looks like a parts list. Safety instructions. Remembering that there is a joint seal on the top media basket. Goes in one way. We'll take a quick look at that. Rhyzomats baskets. So we'll set this over here. Get this open up. No styrofoam or anything in the packaging. I've seen some reviews that these have broken bases on delivery because of the packaging. Ooh, let me get this out of the way. That's not useful. So let's take a look here. Okay, well, the base doesn't seem to be broken at all, so that's good. The canister looks to be in good shape. Slide this over. Has a little card on the top that shows you how to disconnect the hoses to purge water from the canister to remove them. This procedure works well. My 1000 is the same way. What you want to do is shut the intake off. Open the intake, unscrew it, let air into the filter, let air pump out the outtake. Once the motor starts whirring a little bit, shut the output off, and then unplug the pump, and that drains some of the water out of the canister to make it easier to move around and makes it easier to get water out. So people that complain about that, follow the instructions that come with it. It works fairly well. Let's open this up. Well, first let's see. Oh, everything just fell at the bottom. What do we have here? Okay, this is hardware. It looks like the intake and the output, the spray bar, and the nozzle. I'm going to use the spray bar. Couple of hoses. Yeah, relatively decent size. Hopefully they're long enough. If not, they look to be a standard hose, so you probably get something at Home Depot. Let's see. Suction cups for clamping things down, and the valve assemblies. Okay, so on these valve assemblies, along with the assemblies on the other end, to put the hoses on, you screw these all the way down, slide the hoses over. Helps maybe if you lubricate them, a little water or something on them, makes them slide on easier, get them to slide on flush. Then you spin these collars up until they're as tight as you can get them, and that's what locks the hoses on. You don't do that right, you'll get leaks. Just saying. So, there's that. Now, set that off to the side, move the box out of the way, set it on its side so my cat has something to look at. Let's open this up. Let's see, front and back, sides, get the head off, there we go, there's the head, and on the bottom of the motor head, there's the impeller, there is the rubber seal. Pay attention to that seal. It goes on one way, it's pretty easy to figure out. but if you're not careful, you can lose it. Set this off to the side. What do we got in here? We got the top tray. Got some filter floss. Oh, two of them came out. So top tray has filter floss in it. The next tray, filter floss. Next tray, filter floss. Next tray, bag of carbon and more filter floss. I will use their carbon, but I also have some, go in another bag. I have some matrix carbon, I believe. Bottom tray is going to be filter floss and a bio sponge. So that's what comes with it. I'm going to show you a little trick once we get this all together. There'll be another short video once we put everything in it. Some people have concerns that these filters leak up around the baskets. We have some quilters batting, woven quilters batting. You can get it from Walmart. Just make sure it's 100% polyester, nothing else on it. But you get that, and you can use it to replace the filter floss, and you can also wrap it around the very bottom basket, attach it with some polyester thread, and that helps prevent the water coming up on the outside of the baskets. So that is that. I will do another video or add on to this segment once we get the thing all hooked up and plumbed in. Move that off to the side. Now, I also picked up a pair of Aquatop glass aquarium heaters for 75 gallon. Now I have a 75 gallon tank, but I'm going to put one on either end to try and balance them, and if one fails I have a backup. So these are pretty simple. You open it up and pull it out, and pretty much, and it's a nice box. Pretty much you've got a couple of suction cup clips and a heater, and these particular heaters, as many others have shown over time, get that out of there. There's an instruction manual. But these ones, you set the heat on by turning this dial on the top, and it adjusts the scale to let you know where you're at. And given the fish we have, we're going to try and stay right around the 78 degree mark. And that's going to be where we're at with that. So we will have another video shortly. Once we get the filter installed, I'll go over what media we're putting in it and all of that. Thanks. Okay, so as a continuation, I have rinsed everything. There's the carbon that comes with it. I'm going to use that and change it in a month for the Seachem matrix carbon I purchased, just because why not use what comes with it, let that wear out. Okay, so I've got the filters stacked up. I don't have all of the media in them yet. I'm going to just go over that real quick. Pardon my bathroom, cat's water dish. There is the filter canister. Okay, first thing I am putting in is Fluval pre-filter. Some people like this stuff, some people don't. I have it in my 1000, and I tell you, when I clean that thing out, there's a ton of gunk in the bottom that never makes it to the to the first course sponge. So I think it works. Let me get it poured in here real quick. I'm just going to set it down. You might get a pause here because it's going to be loud anyway. Okay, so that's in. Now, spread it out a little. There are lips here that the trays rest on. As long as all of this media is below that level, it all fits. and I'm fairly certain it will all fit. I put the same amount in my 1000 and it all fit. It did take a bit of moving around to get it to fit, but it certainly did all fit once I got it all situated correctly. And if there's too much, you can always pull some out. You can put it in the bottom of the bottom filter too. But this has worked for me. I'm going to level this out, make sure the basket goes in correctly, and then we will pick up from there. Okay, so there I have the media down there, making sure it's all below the level of the legs for the tray. I had more media than could fit in there that way, so what I'm going to do is put some in the very bottom tray. You'll notice I have some of that poly batting wrapped around this tray. That's going to help prevent water from flowing up around the outside of the canister. I'll put filter floss on top of this. My next one will be coarse sponge with filter floss. My next tray will be carbon with filter floss, and then I'll get into biomedia. I'm going to go with, well, we've got it right here. Fluval Biomax in the 4th tray, and just because I have a 5th tray, some filter media spheres, so bio balls. I'll get all of that put in, get this thing put together, and be back shortly. So revise that a little bit. The Fluval rough filter, ceramic filtering down in the bottom. Then I'm going to do in the bottom tray the remainder of that, and then my coarse. My next tray will have some filter floss in it. Then I will go carbon, Biomax, bio balls. Be back shortly. Okay, so I'm getting ready to put everything together. I have the filter together. I've got Willow walking through. I just need to cut the hoses to length because you don't want them any longer than they need to be. So I'll get that done. Then attach the valve bodies. You got a blue and a black for intake and output. They match the blue and black on the canister. Shutoff and flow control valves built in. Some people have had an issue with the quality of these valves. They say they break off. So far I haven't had that issue. Seems to turn okay. The first time's a little tight, but you know, there's the other one. Yeah, seems to turn okay. Anyway, I will get the hoses measured, cut, and I have a little plastic tray down there I put the sump in, not because I expect it to leak, although, you know, it's a nice catch. What I am going to do eventually, and what I'm getting set up for, is I have a home automation system. I'm going to put some wireless leak detectors in there and connect them to a smart power strip that the home automation system controls the outlets on. Detect more than whatever volume of water in that tray, shut the pump off. Some people say that's not going to help much because, you know, you're still going to have a flow through of the pump just because of physics, but I think it'll slow it down if nothing else. Not only that, but I'll get an alert via, you know, a text, email, you know, so I'll know it's leaking and can come and do something about it. We've done the setup so it's going to have the intake and output on the same side, but as I'm doing a spray bar across most of the back of the tank, I don't think that's going to be an issue. So I will get these hoses cut, get everything fixed, and be back momentarily. Well, for you. Okay, so everything's together. The filter is in place and running. Again, the very bottom has some Fluval ceramic filtration. The bottom tray has Fluval ceramic filtration and a coarse filter. Second tray's got bio floss. Third tray's got carbon and floss. Fourth tray has bio matrix. Fluval Biomax. Sorry, had to look. And the fifth tray has Biomax and then filter floss. Then the fifth tray has BioBalls and filter floss. It was a little harder to prime than the 1000, probably because it's a bigger unit, but once it caught, it filled up pretty quickly. Pump fired up, you can try and hear it. I mean, the camera is right next to the pump and it's fairly inaudible. We'll close the door, and I can't really hear the pump running at all. We'll see how long it takes to clear the tank. I'm going to keep track of that. It's already a little clearer and it's only been running for a few minutes. Well, maybe half an hour. We topped the tank off. I had to cut out the plastic on Versatop. I have the spray bar going across the tank. Getting a little bit of flow there. You can feel it. There's all kinds of crap in this tank, but it's going to run for a couple of days and the filter is going to come out, but I'm getting decent flow. You know, should be enough surface agitation there. Here, let's just take the top off. One moment. There we go. So there's the agitation on the right side of the tank. So, you know, not overly violent. You can certainly feel the flow right off of the spray bar. But, you know, when you get out about a foot or so, it's still obviously moving the water around, but it's not overwhelming by any means. Maybe if I shut the LEDs off. Stole these LEDs from my 38 until I can get my new light in. Don't know if that's better or worse, but you can see the movement there. Now, I'll take the other side off. There we go. This is the current on the left side. So we're getting some agitation across. And turn the light back on. Put the top back on. And there we go. So yeah, like I said, when we redid our 38, used the Stratum and Nat, it took the filter just a couple of hours to get the water very clean. So we'll see how long this one takes. I believe the filter is rated at 350 gallons an hour. It's a 75 gallon tank, so that gives me, you know, just under 5 turnovers an hour. I know you deduct when you add media to the filter and all of that, but I still think it's going to be a sufficient filter for a 75 gallon tank, and it is fairly quiet. And then yeah, you can almost see it. I have my 300 watt Aquatops on each side, and then we've got a thermostat in the middle, so we can get a reading right there. And yeah, give it some time, see how it goes, but that's the start of it.